Side characters, good or bad, have shaped Fnaf into what we know it as today. Characters like the Daycare Attendant, Mangle, or Ennard are the best example of this. But there are still some other great side characters like Captain Foxy. While Foxy is generally considered part of the main band, he is no stranger to having his own standalone attractions, like Pirates Cove from Fnaf 1, Funtime Auditorium from Sis Location, and most recently, Captain Foxy's Pirate Adventure. First appearing in Help Wanted's DLC Curse of Dreadbear, Captain Foxy's Pirate Adventure is a Fall Fest 83 themed ride, where you have to hit as much targets as you can before the round ends. It's also the ride that introduces Captain Foxy, the same Foxy as in Fnaf 1, just repaired and wears a blue coat. And if you go off track, you can enter a Fnaf 1, 2, and 3 style ride, where you have to fend off the Jacko animatronics while hitting the targets which closes the doors. And in Security Breach, we can see cardboard cutouts of a Captain Foxy's Pirate Ride movie. And in Help Wanted 2, we get a sequel to Captain Foxy's Pirate Adventure, Captain Foxy's Log Ride, bringing back Captain Foxy himself in a this time Western themed ride. Except this time when you go off track, you fight against Jacko Moon. We also see a puppet version of Captain Foxy in Secret of the Mimic, and a few cutouts of him in Security Breach. So hopefully he plays bigger roles in future games, along with the Daycare Attendant. First appearing in Security Breach, the Daycare Attendant has two primary personalities. Sun, who is on the nicer, more energetic side, and Moon, who activates when the lights go out and is on the more punishing side. If you flash all the Captain Foxy's Pirate Adventure cardboard cutouts, a door to the room where Sun walked out the first time you see him opens, where you could find dismembered staff bots and endoskeletons, with it being unclear if it was Sun or Moon responsible. But there's also an arcade game, Balloon World Adventure, where if you get far enough, the game glitches out and Sun and Moon turn to Eclipse. And in Ruin, we get 3 more variants of the Daycare Attendant: Ruin Sun, Ruin Moon, and Eclipse. Ruin Moon taking over Sun, leading Sun to be trapped in the AR system.
You want me to reboot you? With this?
And Eclipse, who appears when Cassie reboots the Daycare Attendant system, leading Moon and Sun's programming to mix, hence the name Eclipse, which is a completely different character to the one in Security Breach. And in Help Wanted 2, you can play arts and crafts where Sun says some nice things.
You call that art? So bad. Whew. I should turn off the lights myself. Oh, I feel dumber just looking at it.
First appearing in Fnaf 6, Helpy has quickly become a fan favorite. In Pizzeria Simulator, he plays the role of being your financial advisor and game tester, which can be pretty useful, but plays a less helpful role in Ultimate Custom Night, constantly beeping his air horn, alerting every sound animatronic like Lefty or Music Man. And in Security Breach Ruin, we get introduced to Helpy with an eye, who exists digitally in the Vanny mask, but is controlled by the Mimic and says the animatronics aren't dangerous or real, which we know is far from the truth. And in Help Wanted 2, Helpy becomes the center of all 3 first aid levels, where you do anything from spraying his eye to violently hammering his leg off, all while not making too much noise. And in the Bonker Bon level, where you have to hit the bonbons to get points, if you hit Helpy, you'll be deducted 3 points. And in most recently Secret of the Mimic, where we get introduced to Mr. Helpful and Mrs. Helpful. Mr. Helpful representing and voiced by Edwin Murray, and Mrs. Helpful representing and also voiced by Fiona Murray. It seems every game, Helpy gets less helpful. Whether he's big, small, or tiny, Music Man has many different variants, like his most popular DJ Music Man, coming from Security Breach, over 3 times the size as the original Music Man. You can find him in the fast-cade area of the game. And in the Security Breach DLC Ruin, you can find this giant ender on stage, which could potentially be Music Man's. And in Help Wanted 2, you can take DJ lessons with him, only if you disappoint him. And in the Blacklight level, he gets even more destroyed, with a massive part of his left eye missing. He also makes a brief appearance in Into the Pit, where you can see him while adjusting the music. But we also get a miniature version of Music Man in Security Breach, mainly known for the vent trace. They also make an appearance in Help 102's DJ Music Time section, where you're going to have to flash the fast cam at them to prevent getting jump scared. While Fnaf is mostly known for their more notable side characters, there's also a lot of underrated side characters, so here's a couple of them. Old Man Consequences worshipping in Fnaf World, their spotlight comes in Ultimate Custom Night, where if you enter his minigame, he'll tell you to leave the demons to his demons, and if you speed up the distorting breathing in the background, you can hear William Afton screaming after the Fnaf 6 fire. Speaking of Fnaf 6, El Tip is another great side character. Being a Mexican version of Tipper, he's the only expensive animatronic in Pizzeria Simulator that you can't win by luck. And even later gets his own restaurant in Security Breach, even though there's no Glamrock El Tip animatronic. El Tip's famous restaurant also makes another appearance in Help 102, where you work for hungry staff bots. And lastly, Candy Cadet, who is another Fnaf 6 animatronic, who if you play enough of his minigame, he can rarely tell you a story. He also makes appearances in Security Breach Ruin and Help Wanted 2. In Ruin you can find him in a rundown state, and in Help Wanted 2, where he'll tell you stories related to the game's story. Well, that's my list of the best side characters. Thank you guys for watching, please subscribe and comment, and I'll see you guys next time, hopefully.
It's gone dark now. See? Had you noticed that? That it had gone dark now.